Okay, hello there guys. Today I'll be reading the book. Apparently I'm just going to do some 20 minutes. Some for page 1 to page 22 or 25, okay? Okay, so let's start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. Bad brother is a superhero, and I could have been one too, except for that I need to go away. My name is Luke Parker. I'm 11 years old, and I live in a mild-mannered part of London with my mum, dad, and big brother. Zach, he wasn't always a superhero, but with a name like Zach, you have to wonder if my parents had hunted that one day. He did end up wearing a mask and a cape saving orphans from burning buildings. I mean, come on, it's not a name, it's a sound effect. It's what you get in a comic when a superhero punches a supervillain. Pow, blam, Zack! It seems to me that in life you're faced with clear cut moments when things could go one way or another. Vanilla or chocolate, smooth or crunchy. Drop the water bomb on Dad's head or hold fire. It's up to you which choice to make, and sometimes it takes to change the world the way your whole life turns out are for little words and a wee. I was that thankful evening. Zach and I had been in our treehouse for about an hour, and I was bursting. I was reading an old issue of Teen Titans by Twilight, and Zach was doing his maths homework. He's always been a bit of swart before he became star lad. At school, he became Eels star boy. Then go, he said, solve another quadratic equation with a flick of pencil. With his pencil. I'm not stopping you. The truth was, I didn't want to go down the rope ladder in the dark. It had been hard enough climbing up in the first place. It's not that I'm unfit or anything, but put it like this: you ever see me on an Olympic podium? I suffer from hay fever and have funny shaped feet. That means I have to wear these things in my shoes to cut off doctors. When my mum first told me I needed them, I was excited. I thought they sounded like shoulder power armor, but when they finally arrived, they turned out to be bendy foot shaped. Suppose I know it's cybernetic illustration, so that was a disappointing Thursday. I held my head out of the tree house door. Maybe I could just weave from here. Out! Get out of here! You disgusting child! Zack is only 3 years older than me, but when I've done something to annoy him, he calls me a child. All the things I can't stand about my big brother. been called a child is number 47. Not that I have a list. Okay, I do have a list. Even before he became superhero, the list was up to number 63. Now he's almost at 100. He is very irritating. I climbed down the rope ladder and went to the house. At the Wii, when I returned to the treehouse a few minutes later, Zack was sitting there silent dark. I knew something was up because he did stop doing his homework. I grabbed my torch and leveled the beam in his face. He didn't even blink. Zack, are you alright? He nodded. I sure. You look different. And nodded again, very slowly, like he was working. Out in some coplay his thoughts in his head, and then in a croaky voice, I think something amazing just happened to me. Luke, I've changed. That this didn't come as a great surprise. About 6 months ago, Dad had taken me aside for what he called a man-to-man chat. We shared. I think that's because it's the most manly room we have, and Dad's planned from now on, I might notice some changes in my big brother. Zack's embarking on a great journey, said Dad. Brilliant! When she's leaving, can I have his room? Not that kind of journey, Dad said Dad, with a weary sigh. He's gone through something called puberty. As you know, you don't know what's actually puberty. Puberty is when you go through that with the hormones make you do that. He went on. His voice will be different, for instance. Oh, will it sound like a Dalek? No, not like Dalek. It will become hairier. Ooh, like a werewolf. No, not like a werewolf. This puberty like this seems up to much. There's other stuff to do with privacy and girls, but to be honest, after the letdown about the Dalek and the werewolf, I stopped taking it in. So when Zack told me in the treehouse that something had changed, I knew exactly what to say. I pursed my lips. I gave a serious nod, like I did see in the door to do when you told me how to get the fever. I'm afraid that you have caught puberty. He ignored me and his hands, turning them over and over and over. Ivan has superpowers. Zorban. Zack had gone completely bonkers. Too much homework will do terrible things to a boy's mind. But then I grew suspicious. He knew how much I liked comic books and was constantly poking fun at me for what he called my child's obsession. I smelled an ambush. Superpowers. I folded my arms and kneeled. What? So now you can fly and shoot lightning from your fingertips? A curious expression spread across his face. I wonder, he mused, sticking one hand, then sprinkled at me like some cheese magician. Then did not shoot from fingertips. But I was too stunned to know something equally remarkable. What's happening? My torch flew out of my grip, spun through the air and landed Zach's outstretched palm with a slap. His fingers crossed around and he grinned. Impossible! But Zach had done it. He had made the torch just move just by thinking about it and done a left hand gesture. Somehow it was true. My brother had an actual superpower. Taking this to give her its official title. Lots of superheroes have these abilities in comics, but this was the first time I did ever see it in real life. I hated to admit it, but it was cool, super cool. Not that I was going to tell Zach that no line sports done. I said pretending to be disappointed. What? He looked at me like I was stupid. Did you see that? Did you see what I did? I couldn't keep up the pretense. I was impressed, but the quickly gave way to something else. I was as green as the Hulk, more jealous even than last Christmas when Zach was given on the phone and I got shoes. It's not fair. How come you get superpowers? You don't even read comics. I ranted for a few minutes. And when I get going, I've been known to turn purple and then fire leaf sausage. I felt down on the floor and felt my face crumple into a soak. Without receiving with anything I had to know. How did it happen? Zach stared past me, his eyes fixed on some hazy spot on the wall, and began to describe the incredible and incredibly recent event. Just after you left, I heard this distant rumbling noise, and so I looked out of the treehouse. There were lights in the sky, and I thought it might be a miniature tower. And then I realised he was heading this way fast. The sky was filled with hundreds of glowing white lines, but as they were about to hit, there came some mighty sudden stop. Then I saw that he was an meteor tower. He paused and drew a long breath before saying in a whisper, it was a transdimensional spacecraft. I gasped until then the most exciting story Zach had ever told me involved a bad haircut and a twitter. And I'm not convinced he's telling the truth about the twitter. So blood blew over, hanging in the air. When they were outside there, he extended a trembling finger and pointed. As I watched, a door in the side of the craft slid open with a sound like bloosh, bloop, whoosh, and then Loman's figure emerged on a beam of light. He wore a shiny purple suit, a cape with a high gold collar, and gold boots. On his chest were 3 gold stars that pulses like heartbeats. He had a dome-shaped head, which was completely bald, and a wispy beard that he stroked when he spoke. He gave me a 3-finger salute and introduced himself as Jorben, the Decider, an interdimensional traveller and representative of the High Council of that's when raw. And then he said sounded like he was talking in capitals. Zurban explained that he came from another universe that exists in parallel to ours. It's almost exactly the same as our universe, he said, except that the colours green and red are reversed and sponge cake tastes different. Zack looked thoughtful, not entirely different, just a bit different. I could tell by his daydreamy look that Zack found this boy in fact particularly fascinating, and there was a significant danger that he did carry on talking about sponge cake. Never mind about the stupid cake! Get to the superpowers! Zack took himself out of his trance. Oh yeah, well, Zurban said that I did been chosen by the High Council for a mission of utmost importance to both our universe. A mission so vital that were I to fail, the consequences will become necessary for trillions of beings. Okay, Twin Universe. Says you have to save 2 universes. Typical. My brother couldn't be happy saving just one. It was shots on overachiever. But why you? Oh wow! Zack stared thoughtfully out the door. Apparently, this treehouse is the junction between the 2 universes. This was incredible, mind-blowing. Our treehouse, a portal between 2 worlds. On the other hand, so Zack walked. I guess I was the first person Zurban met when he came through. I was just speechless. My mouth moved, but no words came out. Just a sudden look. That's not how you choose as a savior of mankind. There has to be a prophecy written in an ancient book. This was like giving a sort of ultimate power to a goldfish to ensure my success. Zack continued. Zurban said he was authorized to bestow upon me 6 gifts. Powers. If you'd like to aid me in my course, then he raised his palms. Said something in this really weird alien language. What? As opposed to a really normal alien language? I thought, but didn't say. There was this flash of red light, or maybe that super green light that ran on. I felt a surge of energy through my whole body. If it hadn't been was on fire, and when the fire stopped, Zurban bowed and said, "It's done." I asked him what was done, what powers he had he bestowed. What's my mission? I must not say, for if I do risk altering that which is to be. And as everyone who has done this kind of situations will tell you, that would be a very bad thing. Then, all will become clear in time. He said, then he gave me an empty smile and left. But just before the door was closely shut, there was one thing he could really tell. His scared look came over him, and he said, "Nemesis is coming!" Boo! And it's gone. Bloop! Whoosh! I stood there with my mouth wide open. Huh? So much to make sense of so many questions. However, on for a precious way to the front of the queue. but I was only gone for 5 minutes. The most important 5 minutes in the history of the world, and I missed them because I needed a wee. I bet if I did been here, so the decoder could have chosen me. Or grabbed his name was Sorben the Decider. Anyone here, Zach Shot should have held it in Stranger. So unfair as Ray Brown. Okay, that's it, guys. That was 20 minutes. Bye bye.